Any way you can switch your frame of mind to make things easier?
As a general question, it's too difficult to answer.
Okay. It's all right then.
A lot depends on what the game state is. If you have a losing game state, then you have to cut your losses. You can't reverse a losing game state with a defensive plan. You have to dump, one side or the other, and then try and enhance the most valuable side for you in order to create some kind of winning possibility. If the game is notwithstanding that you have been conflicted, still an even game, then you might be forced to just continue tending over the two sides as best you can. But probably the general answer is you do best to kind of make up your mind. Set on one, make that your aim and your value, and be prepared to concede something to the opponent on the other side. So here, this is this right? David is Mr. White and Eric is Mr. Black?
Yeah.
I do not like playing side extensions before the corner is complete. You could even come over here.
Well, but that it's sort of hard to deal with that. I thought.
What is that?
That move 5, the side extension.
Uh-huh.
Because he's got a pincer already. Well, not quite a pincer, but if I dive in at C, well, go ahead. I mean, that was the best I could come up with.
Uh-huh.
I didn't.
Well, see, the thing is that once he's played here, now when he approaches the corner, because this stone doesn't have room for stabilization, the back pressure prevents you from, really taking an attacking posture.
It prevents White from taking it?
Black.
Okay.
You're thinking that this stone will be a useful pincer if White comes in here.
Right, but that's why I played the corner extension first. Because if I came in right away...
Came in. In where?
If I attacked his corner at C, let's say, or next to C, he could attack my corner, and it's an extension from 5.
Okay, we're reversed here. I was talking about Mr. Black.
Okay.
And this move. I don't have any problem with White's move here. This move is just fine.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about this move here. Okay. Is this big? If White is intending to invade over here, I'd rather see White to invade directly and leave this area undecided.
Mm-hmm.
Once White plays here, I'd rather see White defend this corner here. There's no urgency about this. One of the problems with this move is even if Black gets to play here, this is just a common garden variety move. It's nothing special. Black hasn't gained anything by having played the moves out of sequence. And if Black doesn't, it's left for any later time that White chooses. So that there's no loss to White in choosing his time to come in here.
Okay.
Or White could just White could play here. White could just play over here. Could take any kind of approach to the game he wanted. I'm thinking here.
yeah. And then if,
If black attaches under, then his other stone on the edge is in a pretty good spot, right? Or do you?
Is that right? It looks to me like that's in a bad spot. Certainly, since there's already a pincer there, white doesn't want to play a heavyweight, like, you know, just kind of routinely play the Joseki. But if white plays lightly here, I don't think he's got any problem. Note that black, you know, one of the problems from this, from white's perspective in this position, is that it leaves him unable to resist this move. But in the strategic context, there's no way for black to play this move. He's not going to push white toward his own stone and weaken it merely to get a few points on the edge. So that this flexible way of playing leaves black with no good answer here.
it's like he almost has to jump out with that stone.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. I don't know, I might descend here himself. But in any event, we move on from there. So, but here, you see, this is kind of allowing black to bridge over the top by
Yeah.
coming in low. Also, this move is a little bit resource poor in comparison with a closer move to the corner, either B or alternatively here. It has a little bit less access to the corner. So white is just seeming a little timid here. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you look in this region of the board, you have 4-2. Even in this region of the board, you know, it's even this stone can't be taken out of the battlefield. So even in here, it's 2-2. You're gonna have at least an even situation. It's not like you're outnumbered in thinking defensively. But in through here, then. Is this complete?
Well, I thought that if I make a move underneath and black gets in that move, I felt it was too good for him. I would rather fight, you know, take my chances underneath and let black get that 14 in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a big framework. I mean, maybe it was a problem with the way I played previously, but once I'm in that situation, I don't think I can allow it.
So you're saying then that you got to a certain point and you thought, you know, 10 was a lousy move. I better try and fix it. No, this is an important. You know, Go has many aspects. It's got aspects of skill and knowledge, but another aspect of Go is discipline. Once you start something, it's too late. You just have to develop the discipline to stay with it. The 14 would have been a perfectly legitimate move at an earlier time if you had never played in the corner, if you have never started this engagement. Once you start the engagement, you got no choice. You got to finish the engagement. That is always the best thing to do. It doesn't matter how big something looks. It's not even the matter of big anymore. Big doesn't even matter until the engagement is done.
Well, I wasn't convinced that he could kill my 2 stones.
Who cares about killing?
Well, all right. I guess I didn't think that there was anything that he could do down there that would compensate for letting him get that move in.
In terms of kind of theory, when you start an engagement and stop it, what happens is the stones that you had played with the intention that they would be assets turn into liabilities. Now that's not going to help you kind of see things with the right perception, but still it should help you to understand what's going on. When you stop in the middle, you turn assets into liabilities. So now you play here, and black plays. Let's say black plays here. And even let's say that black plays here. And we have this result, although black can fight harder, and it's not even clear that white can live, but who cares? what has happened is you entered that area because you were separating off a black stone and you were going to get profits from that black stone. You allowed black to link over the top and turn that stone which was weak and a source of potential profit for you into a position that was very strong and a substantial profit for black. So everything that you tried to accomplish here has been reversed.
Yes, I agree, it was badly played.
And what had been stones that were likely to lead into profits for you have become stones that have turned into losses for you. Now, you have, therefore, in this area, taken an outright loss, where you had plus 20, for example, just conceptually. You now have minus 15. And it's Sente. How can any move on the board be big enough that it can compensate for a 35? This is just a point in Gote. Now it's his turn. However big this move is, it is just a simple asset move. Whereas you took two stones that were assets and turned those two stones into liabilities. That's a 4-move swing.
So you say I should have continued?
I'm saying that once you start something, you don't have a choice anymore.
Okay.
Your choices were earlier. Once you start an engagement, that's it. Nothing is on the board until the engagement is over. And the conceptual reason is that you take assets and turn them into liabilities. Nothing is as big as that. A move can be as big as you want. A move can be as good as you want. It's just one move. There's another move. I mean, look at this board. This is a fine move. Yes, I'll grant you that. Let's count the number of moves that are equal in size. Well, let's see. I'll just use letters. This move is equal in size. This move is equal in size.
I'm not sure about that because that move is an extension from his wall. If he gets it, isn't that bigger?
You're talking when I say equal in size, you're saying okay, this is 4.1, and that's only 4. I'm not even going to argue that point. I'm just saying that this is a 4 something, this is a 4 something, this is a 4 something. Okay. This may be marginally better, but the difference between 4.1 and 4 is nothing in comparison with the difference between plus 2 and minus 2.
Okay.
So you got one of a number of equally valid, equally large, equally important points, and in Sente, he took your strong position and turned it into a liability where you were just scrambling around trying not to die, and give him this overwhelming strength. See?
Okay.
So that this is just part of the discipline. You just have to accept this and resolve yourself to do it simply because it's the discipline. You know you have to do it. Once you start something, it's too late. You can't get off the train until you play to completion. I mean, it's just in a kind of a metaphoric way. Think about what happens. The train's going along at 60 miles an hour. I gotta get off, and you jump off. What happens to you? Well, that's what happens to you. You get a train wreck. You just don't have a choice. You only can stop. You can only get off the train when it's in the station. Once you start something, the train has left the station. You're stuck. There's nothing more you can do. Okay. So in here, instead of doing this, I think you're just obligated to continue fighting here. As long as you separate this stone, you can't get a result that's that terrible.
Yeah. Okay.
And now you just continue fighting from here, and White does what he does.
Okay.
And here's another thing in terms of sensing the flow of Go. See, White has left this area incomplete, and Mr. Black isn't doing anything. When your opponent, leaves in the middle of an engagement, you immediately return there because the value of the next move is overwhelmingly great. Even if White just simply wanted to do this, okay, I'll play here. That'll force him to play here. Then I'll play here. Even that, the value of the exchange of this move for this move is enormous, and it's Sente. And now you just go on and play the exact same game that you're going to play all the way along. Even if it's only that, I want to be more severe than that because I think I can get more. But even if it's only that, you finish up this much and then you move on. Part of the thing about completion is from the standpoint of each player. if you don't play through completion and leave, then the other player has to be equally aware of that and jump on that opportunity. Okay, let's just take a second and consider the time. We got started a little bit late.